City Suns talk. Brennan and Damian. Like 18 on the run, the way you containing them. All the latest from coming to the Suns. Inside information and getting it done. For Phoenix Sports, they #1. Kinda like Booker, yeah, they on the rise. Come and see it's all things Phoenix. City Suns talk, we going live.
We're here at the Verizon 5G Performance Center where the Phoenix Suns just wrapped up their first week of training camp. My name is Brendan Mao. Next to me is Damian Adams from Burn City Sports and the Burn City Suns Talk podcast. Damian, what were your impressions of training camp this week?
My impressions were that they were all on the same page of intensity and really coming together and knowing that this is the time to really get it done. And I love how Frank Vogel even expressed how he knows to run an intense training camp because of his past stops.
Yeah, and just to kick it off right away on Tuesday, they had 2 practices on Tuesday. Like Josh Okogie said, that was the first time since he's been with Tibbs in Minnesota that they've done that. So all around, it's just been intense and really defensive-minded. Even the big guys like Durant and Booker are stepping up defensively. Vogel highlighted those 2 guys as the best defenders yesterday during practice.
Yes, and Kevin Durant today said that it was his first time running 2 days in quite a while. So you're definitely getting the intensity in this training camp, and they're going to definitely be in good shape.
Here are some of the questions that we asked Coach Vogel and some of the players this week. Coach, obviously you brought over like almost a whole new staff here. How do you think that they've adjusted to the team, and how do you think the team has responded to that?
They're responding really well. I think the connectivity has been really good. The summer was huge for our staff, integrating with the players that we have. You know, we spent a lot of time in this gym, away from this gym, throughout the summer, just getting to know these guys as people, talking about the system we're going to put in place. And, most of the staff has been with me, in the past. And Kevin Young has been a great addition. His knowledge, his corporate knowledge of what they've done here the last few years has been invaluable in terms of us, making this transition.
Yusuf, you had like a short time to adjust to being here, but how excited compared to all the other training camps in the NBA career were you for this one?
It's different, man. I feel like it's just being in perspective what, went down in the summer with my, ex-team and finishing here in Arizona. It's just like, obviously I understand how the league works. This is my 10th year, but it's still surreal. Like it's kind of, I don't know, you fell asleep in Oregon, you wake up in Phoenix, and that's how it felt. Like I was traded Wednesday, Thursday, I was, in Arizona, and how fast going is I'm trying to practice and enjoy the moment. But for me, as long as I have a son, I'm good, man. And we have plenty of that here, so I'm be okay. So.
Josh, how would you say that your mindset has changed from last year's training camp to this year's training camp?
Not really much. I kind of go into training camp with the same intent every year.
Josh, what can you say about what you've seen from Grayson Allen so far with him coming over here? He's kind of a similar kind of player to you, scrappy and same kind of height.
Yeah, Grayson, he's been shooting the ball very well, being a guy aggressive, attacking the basket, being a guy that everybody knows him to be. So I'm excited for how he's going to play this season.
Coach, has there been any players that have stood out to you from a leadership standpoint so far?
Yeah, I think I think Book obviously is understands that with the change in the roster and us being different from a leadership structure than we were the last few years. He's had to step up and be more vocal, and I have seen that. But obviously he leads more with his example, and as does KD. KD is a big time tone setter with how hard he goes in all his individual work, all his practices. It's really, really impressive. And then Brad has been both a vocal leader and a lead by example guy as well. And the other guy that I would say is worth noting that I think is going to be important from a leadership standpoint is Eric Gordon. Right, he's really seen a lot in this league. He's somebody that everyone respects, for who he is as a guy, what he stands for, and I think he'll have a strong voice in our locker room as well.
When you look back to your rookie year, how would you compare your mindset going into that training camp compared to this one?
It's very, I had no idea what to expect my rookie year. I was extremely nervous. I had no idea like what the NBA game was like, what to expect. I felt like I was the young guy on the team, and yeah, it was just very overwhelming almost. And now coming here, there was still a little bit of that. Like I didn't know what to expect being on a new team. There was still some nervousness or anxiousness first day in the gym with everybody. Being the start of training camp, like I didn't get any easing into it, playing pickup or practice or any type of summer workouts or anything. So, but I'm at a point now, like year 6, where I kind of know how I can contribute to a team, how I can help, and so I have a lot of confidence and kind of security in my ability and what I can do to help the team. So from that spot, it makes it a little bit easier to come into a gym and just fit in.
Yeah. Coach, you earlier talked about your Pacer days. How has your approach to training camp changed since then?
Very different. One, I was working for Larry Bird. There was going to be a high standard of running these guys into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, there was the conditioning piece was always very, very important with Larry, and because of that, I feel like my training camps are probably still more aggressive than most around the league, because I believe in those lessons that I learned from Larry. But you know, the game's changed over the last, I think it's 12 years since I've been a head coach, and you know, it's just gotten more intelligent in terms of managing, you know, our NBA players' bodies. So definitely lighter than before.
Katie, what's it going to be like for you going against Lonnie in the first piece of the game?
Nothing too. It's just a regular game. I mean, Lonnie coached me for not even 20 games, you know. But it'd be good to see the staff and you know, some of the guys that I worked with before.
Kato, how would you compare this training camp to the one under Coach Pop?
There's similarities and differences. I would say this is more intense just because the guys we have here and the end goal of our team. But I mean, both are really intense. But this is like another level of intensity knowing what we're playing for.
Kato, you guys have like a lot of hard-playing, defensive-minded games. How do you differentiate yourself in that group?
My length is probably one of the bigger things. We all play hard, but my length gives me an extra inch. Just say Josh, for example, might be a little quicker, but might make it up with my length. So that's where my biggest thing is, switching on other guys, whether it's playing the Clippers against Kawhi and PG. I feel comfortable guarding both, whoever it may be. That's my thing, is my length.
Coach, you touched on it earlier about how this is the team's first road trip and the team bonding is coming up here. What kind of exercises are you going to do on the road?
Well, this first one is being handled by Matt Ishbia. You know, he's got some things planned, you know, because we're going back to his neck of the woods, and he's got some things to get us together.
For more exclusive content like that, make sure you follow Burn City Sports on all social media platforms. Make sure you check out our podcast, Burn City Suns Talk, which just dropped today on Burn City Sports on the YouTube channel. It will come out each and every week, and it will be available on listening platforms like Apple and Spotify very, very soon.
Burn City Suns Talk, we going live.